Welcome back to Ratchet Thoughts and Isms. We are happy to be back at the Platform Studios in Brooklyn. We have another episode for you guys, and we're excited for you to tune in and be in here with us. And as always, you already know, I'm Luke, the Harlem Skywalker.
I'm First Lady Ramona.
Uptown Ratchet Poppy.
And today, we are missing our brother Dre, Brooklyn Dre, but you know he sends his regards and his love and his heart, and through his spirit, we're gonna give you this episode, which today we're calling "Toxicity in the Modern Day Era," right? And it's not just relationships, because we're gonna get to that.
Right.
Very good point, but just in general, in the world right now, it's just I feel like personally, we are all in this Twilight Zone type of place with all the stuff that's going down, and we'll get into it, but what do you guys, how do you want to start this episode in terms of toxicity in the modern day era?
Alright, disclaimer time. That's how we're going to start.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, that's
go
a good one.
The views and opinions of Uptown Brown, Ratchet Poppy, Mr. Receipts, El Capitan, whatever you would like to call me, are solely the views and opinions of me and do not reflect upon the lovely cast of Ratchet Thoughts and Isms.
Very
Sidebar,
good. Very good.
I got there have been some chatter in the social media atmosphere that you should include Backshot Bully. Some women were looking forward to that, so
I'll think about it. I'll consider it.
Okay.
I'll consider it. For the next episode, I'll consider
for
it.
those of you who haven't seen season 2, check it out. I can't tell you which episode it is. You gotta fiddle do, but Backshot Bully over here.
Yeah.
Some of you ladies, you asked, so I told them, and was.
Yeah, I'll consider it moving forward, you know.
So since we started on social media chatterbox, let's talk about how social media has contributed to the toxicity in this world.
So we gonna start with social media?
Yeah.
We should start with social media.
Okay.
I think I headed into it pretty nicely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I definitely feel like, although life, there's always like a good and bad, a yin and yang, a light and a dark. And I think although there's a lot of positive things that you can use social media for, social media is like the news for a lot of people. Some people don't go home and watch the news, and you might find out about updates about major things that are happening in life through your social media feed. For some people, it's the news, right?
Absolutely.
You can go on TikTok and you can go on YouTube and learn how to do things. If you don't know how to sew, you can learn how to sew. If you want to learn how to put up a flat screen on your TV, you can go on YouTube, figure out how to do it. Like, it's a bunch of wonderful things you can use social media for, right?
Facts.
But the dark side of that is people definitely use social media for evil. They use social media to talk negatively about people. They use social media to put out people's business. They use social media to just exude all of their toxic energy. You know, that's what I see.
Okay. I was going to let you continue. I didn't want to stop you. I had a hand up. I want your thoughts on that, because I wanted to. Okay. So I remember a time when there was no social media,
Right.
and what that life felt like.
Right.
Like even talking to women in the street, like how different it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. Then, and how easy and just free flowing, whereas now, because there's just so much things that's out there, and what someone can post or say or do or hover. It just makes things, or what you see, it just creates a type of anxiety sometimes to even talk to a woman in the street, because you don't know how many idiots before you have tried to holler at her, or catcalled her, or just turned her whole day, negatively because they called her a bitch, or you don't want to smile, or da-da-da-da. Like, I'm pretty sure you have stories out the wazoo, no? With men disrespecting. Okay, well, maybe she is lucky, because I know you ladies. I've heard a lot of it from you ladies over, like just a minute ago. I spoke to a young lady.
I walk around with a stink face, so they don't talk to me.
Oh, some men don't.
Rustin Ramona face.
Some men don't care. But I say all that to say, life just was, and maybe it was because you didn't know about, you didn't have such access. That's what it is. The social media now makes everything so accessible, where you don't do the type of work that you did before. Does that make sense?
So it's social media / we live in the era of instant gratification. Like there once was a time where if you wanted to watch a movie, you had to walk your ass up to this place called Blockbuster Video. You had to go there, walk through the aisles, pick out what you wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Don't have it.
Even people don't even remember. Even Netflix started through the mail.
It did.
It did.
You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't always, you weren't always able to stream, right? So when even certain food items that everything you can order now through like Uber Eats and Instacart and freaking DoorDash, there were certain food items you actually had to go to a restaurant to order. Now everything is in by the touch of your fingertips, right? Which makes people lazy, it makes people who don't want to do work, but it also programs you to always want instant gratification. So how that works in terms of social media, if someone upsets you and you want the instant gratification of getting your revenge, you go directly to social media and you can get it instantaneously because people want instant gratification. We live in an instant gratification era.
Can I say something?
Sure.
So I have kind of like maybe 2 or 3 views on this. So my first view when it comes to like relationships. So social media and relationships. I feel like right now everything's so unison. Like all the girls act the same, all the guys act the same because they watch social media and they repeat what they see. Subconsciously, it gets in their minds. So like when their girlfriend get home, when they move with their boys, like I saw on social media that if you do this, you a pimp, you a bitch ass nigga. I'm not gonna do that. But like everybody's doing the same thing. So it's like when you meet someone, it's so hard because he think that you're that type of girl. Oh, you the girl that want money. Oh, you want a Birkin bag. You the kind of girl that you want to go on trips. You want me to fly you out because they so conditioned to think that all these girls want that because they look at social media and this is all they see. So when they meet you, they think, okay, you just like that too, and you're not. You know, I'm not. So it's like it takes away the value of the person. It's like you just put everybody in a box, everybody in a category because you watch so much social media that you don't know who's what, who's real, who's fake anymore. Everything just blending together now when it comes to like relationships. And also when it comes to like celebrities, that if you're not secure within yourself, that shit could tear you down. Like, yes, you a rapper, yes, you a basketball player, but like they be saying real mean stuff on social media. You know what I'm saying? And that can make you commit suicide. Like a lot of people was social media thugs, you know what I'm saying, that all that shit to pop on social media, but when they see you in the street or on the concert, it's like, yo, what up, bro? Nah, don't what up, bro. Me, last week you were saying all this shit on social media, like, say it now. And I feel like a lot of people hide behind that. White people say what they want to say, black people say what they want to say. You got politicians saying what they want to say. Everybody has a platform now. Everybody has a voice, you know, and I just feel like with that, it's like, come on, like what's real and what's fake? I'm like, we're losing reality now, I feel, you know?
I think it's dangerous because these type of tools, though it propels our society forward, you know, having such accessibility, like you said, I mean, we are all creatures that have taken to this beast, right? This new medium in terms of how we order food or how accessible it's the gratification. Hold on. And even our kids, you know, they're cyberbullying, like, you know, kids, the rate, this toxicity, you know, see how we bring that back in? It's funnels and seeps into your skin to where back then we didn't have those things. Like we had two-way pagers, like for those of you who
we didn't even have
you know
waiting.
You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't. We had to go do the work. Right. If you wanted to, like you was talking about me, like you probably
come outside.
You know what I'm saying? Like so, it's just so many things to hide behind. So this technology, though, is great if being used incorrectly, has caused us to come to this place. Like you said, everyone wants to say something.
Everyone has a voice now, like, apparently.
And it's okay. Like I'm not saying that you shouldn't speak what you want to feel, but yo, just know that it affects people. Words are powerful. Period.
I mean, it's one of those things where like social media is dangerous than you sitting at home playing with matches. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you can literally, you know, go on Google, go on YouTube, and figure out how to put together a bomb, right?
Yep.
I mean, and you see a lot of these people, even the people out there, the all the people that do the mass shootings. Like most of them have social media platforms where they spend months, talking about what their plans and what their intentions are.
Yep.
Intentions were.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, I think there's definitely tons of positive things that you can use social media for, but like because we live in the instant gratification era, people want things now. Nobody wants to do the work. Like, I mean, and it affects everybody. Like 15 years ago, I knew your number by heart. I knew your number by heart.
You had no choice.
I don't know your number by heart no more.
How many numbers do you know by heart now?
Shit, maybe 3.
How many about you?
I know my job. I know my job to call out. Let me stop. I know my job. No, that shit by heart. Boom, boom. Anywhere I am. 197.
I know my job to call out. I know my daughter and my mama.
I know my mother. She had a number for years since I was little. So, and my daughter and myself, and my best friend. That's about it.
Not
the Chinese restaurant.
Not this best friend.
And the Chinese restaurant.
The other one. Shout out to Ty.
Who said that?
You don't know my number by heart.
I do. Want me to say it?
We do it behind the camera.
No. 929.
I know.
472.
All right, you got it. I stand corrected.
Still shout out to her other best friend. Still shout out to you too.
I know Ty's by heart too.
Hey, let's get it.
I have a question. I'm sorry. I have a question for Rod. Do you think it got worse during quarantine?
For
like
sure.
The whole social media phenomenon?
For sure. I mean, I think more people took to social media more than ever. I mean, even like if you look at us, right? I've always stated that the birth of RTI came about during the pandemic. I had this flood of creative energy, and then I just wanted to release it. So for me, because I'm a positive person, right, my energy and the thoughts that were looming around in my brain were positive. But if you're a person that's not who you are, that could definitely be dangerous for you.
So do you just not go on social media? Do you just not show the world your life? Do you just not? Because like it makes you not want to do it, you know, especially as celebrities like Cardi B. Let's take her for example. Like she showed her children, her life, you know, and somebody said something about her daughter. They said her daughter was autistic. I'm just like,
I think one, you can't take it too seriously.
How could you not?
Why? I'm gonna tell you how you cannot, right? Because when you look at, we'll just use Instagram as an example, right? Mm-hmm. Anything I post on Instagram is showing you at the most 5% of whatever I'm doing in any moment. And it's the 5% that I choose to show you. Mm-hmm. It's a selective 5%. So anybody who is looking at it that is taking it, because I definitely, one of the things that I stopped doing, I don't post in real time anymore.
I never did.
So
that.
Though there used to be a time where I might be out at a lounge and go live, yo, I'm right.
Somebody I don't like do you be like,
yeah. So I don't post in real time anymore. I don't put any timestamps because even if I post later, I still don't even want you to know where I was. If you could look in the background and figure out what I was, kudos to you. But I'm not gonna tell you. Right. Smart. But there's things that I do. Like, listen, I went on vacation last year. I went to freaking Puerto Rico. There's not a damn picture for me in Puerto Rico on my. Look, I show the 5% of that I want to show.
I understand, but that's
at any given time.
Everybody doesn't think like you. Some people they're dumb enough to say, "Oh, I'm leaving for 4 weeks. I live on 125 Cherry Lane. My doorbell is 4B." Like, and then you wonder why you got robbed when you was out. You know, like people just share too much.
I mean,
they share too much.
Listen, right?
It's entertainment.
I am the director of my life.
Facts.
I write the script. I'm the writer and the director. I choose who has a starring role. I choose who's an extra.
I'm an extra, y'all. Go ahead.
But yeah, you right next to me right now.
Go ahead.
How does that work? How does that work?
Finish.
But I choose the roles that people play. I'm the director of my life, right? So I think that's how you got to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't take this shit too seriously because people will get serious over, oh, you didn't like my pick. Is that same person that likes your pick gonna loan you $20 if you need it?
So how about when it comes to like relationships and you like your other girl's pick and you're in a relationship and you put in a smiley face or you put in a wink eye? Like, do you feel like all that does is like heighten a girl's or a man's insecurity in a relationship by seeing you commenting on other women's stuff, or are you just like super jealous?
I know women that get extremely upset and jealous if you like other girls' pictures.
I mean,
let's not make this all about social media. Then
it is about social media.
No, this is about toxicity. That's what this episode is about.
Okay.
Toxicity.
Okay,
That's
right,
not. It's not about social media.
Okay.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So.
But those things they couldn't do before, it gets toxic.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? So, what are your toxic traits? And if you say
no, but that's,
you don't have any,
that's subjective. Because it could be one thing for my daughter, one thing for my husband, one thing for my friend, one thing for my mom, one thing for my...
Overall, what are your toxic traits?
Bless you.
I could say for me, and it's something I've worked on and still working on. I have been known to be controlling, and the other thing was emotionally unavailable. So some women were not able to connect with me in a way that would propel the relationship or feel closer to me. So, and if they did, they would do things to get some type of rise or something out of me, and it would be like,
it's called an emotion. They want an emotion out of you.
Yeah, that
they would do anything. Sometimes even a negative emotion is still an emotion.
Yeah. And I wouldn't really, because I wasn't connected to them. It would just be like, cool.
What's yours?
I don't know if I would just call it emotionally available or just my ability to just be extremely nonchalant. I don't have a problem with it.
Aloof or nonchalant?
Nonchalant.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with it, but I know that it has had adverse effect on others.
So that's not your toxic trait. That's what people think your toxic trait is.
Well, perception is reality, right?
No, not necessarily.
But I've heard it so much.
What do you think?
I've heard it so much that I believe that it can be. That I believe it could be toxic.
Okay, but what do you have within yourself that you know for yourself, not what somebody told you, for yourself?
Let's see.
Self-reflection, y'all.
Self-reflection is deep, ain't it? Right.
It's everything. You gotta be honest with yourself. That's
my delivery in which I speak to people
could toxic?
Be. Yeah, because I'm a straight shooter and everybody can't handle it.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you're sensitive, I more than likely I probably gonna offend you or hurt your feelings.
You know that you're sensitive in some ways too, just not probably the way you think you are.
Yeah, I know I'm sensitive.
So it's like you have to be mindful of other people's feelings too.
That's
what I'm saying. Yeah, if you care. Only if you care.
I don't see. So I'm of the belief that it's not about me caring or not caring, because if you understand me and not make it about you, you know that when I'm speaking to you, it's coming from a place of love.
But doesn't make it okay.
It's coming from a place of love.
Doesn't make it okay.
Let's give you an example.
I didn't say my toxic trait yet.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna
okay,
get you. I just want to give you an example.
Because I feel like you're gonna miss the message if you focused on the delivery of the message.
No, I'm gonna miss the message because I'm not receptive to the way you're giving it. So even if it's something that's just from the heart, the fact that I'm not feeling how you're speaking to me, it's not even registering.
Right. The way you
if
say
you
it.
want me to hear you, you have to speak my language.
Yep.
And if you're not speaking my language, it could be from all love, and I'm still not gonna hear you.
So what about you trying to understand my language?
I do, but you have to do the same for me. Well, for the person.
But where's the compromise? Because like I hear
if you're seeing that, if I'm talking to you in my language and you're receptive to it, then great. But if I'm seeing that you're not getting it, then I'm gonna think about, like, what am I saying that he's not getting? How am I saying it that he's not comprehending? Then I have to come back again, different angle. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if you see a person like you, like, I'm telling this girl because I love her, leave this dude alone, and she's not hearing me. Now you gotta be like, what angle can I come at her for her to hear me? Because she's not hearing me. You know what I mean?
I might just sit back and watch the show at that
point. But you just stop caring after a while. You're like, if you ain't gonna hear me first time, I'm well, shit, that's on you, boo.
Sit back and watch the show.
That's the nonchalant, right?
All right.
Yeah.
What's your toxic trait? Or treats?
When I love someone, I put a lot of emotions into everything. Everything is super magnified. Like, when I have feelings, when I don't have feelings, I'm good. Like, all right, well, call me later. All right, cool. All right, holla at me. Okay. I called you and call me back. Fine. But when it's feelings, not even just a romantic feeling, just my best friend or my family, I'm like, but why you didn't call me back? But I called you at 2 o'clock, it's 2:30, why you didn't call me back? I don't care. You parked the car, you fucking call me back. Like, I had something to tell you. You don't know if I was dying. I could have been dying, and I'm calling you my last call on my phone, and you just didn't. What? What were you doing so important than me? What was better than me? Oh my God. You know what? Fuck you. And I'm like, we have
validation over here.
I'm super. When I love you or I care about you, it's like everything is magnified. Everything is magnified for no reason. Are you coming now? But you said you was coming. It's been 15 minutes. You still don't here. You still not here yet. Well, how long? I don't know. What you mean you don't know? You know how long it'll take you to get somewhere? What kind of dumb shit? Like, I get super annoying. I get super on 10 for no reason. And sometimes I just need to just relax. Yeah, I need to like relax. Like, Keisha, breathe, relax. I need to learn how to relax.
Okay.
My toxic trait is just being super emotional and super intense for no reason. For no reason.
I think there's a term for that. I just don't know it off the top of my head right now. But if I had
it somewhat tantrum?
No, it's something else. If our brother Brooklyn Dre was here, I think he could tell.
I thought it was called being a woman.
Oh, yo, you want the smoke?
All women are not like that.
You want the smoke?
All women are not like that.
No. You know what I think? What toxic trait I think that a lot of women share though. I think overthinking can be toxic, and women definitely overthink. They will overthink themselves into an argument with a nigga.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why women need a lot of reassurance. Women need a lot of reassurance. And I know you guys like, I'm gonna sit in here reassuring you all day, but like, that's what we need. We need reassurance because there's so many women out here and beautiful women out here.
Comment if y'all co-sign that, ladies. Sorry.
Go ahead. We need reassurance. That's something that we need. And if our man is not giving us that, of course you're gonna overthink. You're gonna overthink.
My rebuttal to that is, if you got a good man and he's doing what he can to ensure that I'm here, I'm providing, I'm protecting, I'm professing, what more? I'm laying the pipe. Like, what more can he do?
Just give me. Maybe it's not
continue
you.
The reassurance.
Maybe it's not you. It's her. She had shit going on. She has.
Then maybe if she can identify it, then I need her to meet me halfway and work on yourself.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's why communication is very important. Communication is very important. Like, is she doing this because I'm not doing enough, or she's doing this because she has issues within herself? Why are you doing this? Let's talk about it. Right?
No, you're right.
Right?
No rebuttal here. I can't refute. I mean, communication is big in relationships. A lot of people don't have enough of it.
Oh, God.
Facts.
So have you guys been in, because I know I have a lot of friends who have experienced toxic relationships. Have you guys experienced anything, and what could you tell us your experience was?
I feel targeted.
I have been in a toxic relationship. It was
so I always ask everyone this. So any of you that know me, so I'd be like, well, what happened? Because this person was not this person when you were with them for however many years. Like, what do you, looking back, do you know what was the spark that changed? And did you contribute to that, or was this just like?
To be honest with you, the huge bomb that changed. Before that bomb, there were little firecrackers. There were little flickers of stuff. There was, but I just like. It wasn't big enough for me to leave. Okay. But I saw little flames come here and there, a little firecracker, a little pop. I saw it, but the red flags, and I just was like, okay, whatever, you know. We started talking for a couple of days. I'm mad at you, but then we talk again. You know, that first time should have been the end of it, but I didn't do it. So by the time the bomb happened, it was like, ooh, okay. And the person never went back. That was that one day, and the person never went back to the person I met. That was years ago.
And how long did you stay in that? And I want to hear
toxic
from
relationship?
You. Yeah. Because a lot of people stay in toxic relationships because
I stayed because I was 5 months pregnant. So I wasn't ready to give that up yet. I wasn't ready to give up my family. I wasn't ready to give up. I wasn't ready to stop fighting at that point. Okay. Like, even though it was toxic, I still try to hold on to what I saw first when I first met this person. I try to have that hope that it might go, like, when the baby's born, maybe he'll get back to, you know, or maybe that always that little maybe. So I wasn't ready to give up yet. Okay. It took me like 3 years
All right, hold the door. I would get uptown.
So I think when it comes down to toxicity in relationships, the same way how people are able to separate, like, and I know what I'm about to say is going to be very controversial, right? But you look at a person like R. Kelly, right? People are able to separate the man from the music, right? Because there are parts about the music that they have emotional connections to, they have, enjoyment with, they have, life experiences where the music was there, as part of those life experiences, and they don't want to separate. So they are able to see a difference between the man and his art, right? I think a lot of times in relationships, especially when there's children involved, a lot of times women aren't able to separate the man or the boyfriend or the husband versus the father. Because, like, even myself, right? I can admit,
what do you mean by that?
Like I'm gonna tell you, like, for me, like, I can admit that I was a shitty husband, but I'm an amazing father, right? And I think that some of the, without going into too many details, some of the trials and tribulations that I went through with my ex-wife were due to the fact that, for her, at least for a period of time, she wasn't able to separate me as a husband from me as a father, and that led to us having issues that we've definitely, since we've worked through them, and we are at a better place, and we can co-parent better now, and our kids are good.
I have a question without getting too deep in your business.
Right.
Who initiated the breakup?
I left.
Okay, go ahead.
But I think sometimes it doesn't matter, right? Because whether it's a man who leaves or a woman who she feels like she's fed up and she puts a man out. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, when a woman puts a guy out, she's not putting him out because she really wants him to go. She's putting him out hoping that he's gonna come back with getting his act together and is gonna be a better dude. Because who doesn't want their family to be whole?
The reason why I asked you who initiated the breakup was because I feel like when you left, she wasn't ready emotionally for you to go. So it's like somebody putting money in your lap, and then when you're about to spend it, they just take it back. So it's like, you like, where you go? Like, I'm not ready for you to leave. So that turns into anger. Like, that, there's a thin line between love and hate, they say.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So when you love somebody dearly, it's the hate be real because the love is so strong.
Ooh,
so it's
comment on that.
No, seriously.
I mean, love and hate is literally the same emotion, because when at the root of it, it's passion.
Right.
The same way you passionately love, you passionately hate.
Right. So
it's the same emotion. It's the same emotion when you break it down to the root.
Right.
It's literally the
so
same
you
emotion.
leaving was like
it's
that, you know what I mean? That hate was passionate. It was, you know what I mean? It was still love. Like, I still love you. I don't want you to go. But I hate that you're leaving. But I still love you.
The problem is when you can't separate, and then there are little children that are being affected because there is a lack of consistency in the actions, because the anger is causing disruptions that, and some of these disruptions aren't positive. There's a ripple effect to that, and that ripple effect can also affect the children.
Okay, so I'm playing devil's advocate right now because I'm a parent too, and I had a toxic relationship, so I understand where you're coming from. But you know how you break up with someone that you really care about, and it hurts, and sometimes you take you like a week or two, or like even a month, just to get over that person, and you in your house, you watching movies, you crying, you talking to your boys, you drinking because you're trying to get emotionally over that person. I
don't sit in the house and cry.
I mean, but have you ever been in a relationship where you had to get emotionally over that person?
For sure.
Have you been in a relationship where you had to get emotionally over that person? Maybe not you, because you was never
sorry.
But okay, so my point to say that even though she's like, oh, you can't come see the kids, you can't come over, I think that from a woman's point of view, she was just trying to get over you. And it just so happened that the kids were casualties because we have kids together. But, like, I need to distance myself away from you for a little while for me to get my mind right. Like, I have to put my feelings in a place where I can be a mom and be a parent. I'm not there yet. So I need a little distance to get my mind right. And with that happening, unfortunately, you don't get to see your kids because they live with her or they're not, available or whatever. But sometimes you got to think of the overall picture and why she's doing it. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I retract that. There was one time.
Go ahead.
And I was like, I told the girl I love her, and she was like, you can't love me, and
You just
I
love
was
these
like,
back
You
shots.
can't love me.
listen.
She was like, you don't love me, you just love these back shots?
No, Mr. Backshot Bully.
Okay.
Okay, I was like, yo, like she was like, yo, you can't love me, like she couldn't get that, she couldn't be loved.
What?
I know it's deep, and I was like, and I was hurt, like I was like, what, like, and so anyway, I digress. Go ahead. I know
There's a song about that.
look, we
Wale and Rihanna.
we get up. Continue.
You never made love.
I might have took us off, but I wanted to just say that I did have one. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We come, yo, family. We're coming close to our final thoughts, man.
We may have
Are we?
to.
No, we not.
Nah,
No,
we
we
may have
not.
to. We may have to
No,
make
it's
this a
not.
part
I'm
two.
telling
No,
you,
it's
I'm
not.
tired of
Look
it.
at the camera.
Mamacita, mamacita, mamacita. I'm just letting you know, we coming close.
No,
We probably got a good 10 minutes left. We can-
Yeah.
more than that.
I'm saying.
But anywho,
Go ahead.
Um,
Continue. We
I mean, so I think, so I get what you're saying that, you know, sometimes.
talking about me.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You know, if a woman needs to, you know, mentally process what
Breakup.
she's going through,
Mhm.
and through her processing on, you know, and she's left to her own devices, and she's not going to therapy, and it's just her in her head, and maybe her sister, her mama, her girlfriends, whatever. Right. But I still think that, you know, it's weird, right? Because I think people sometimes put blinders on the shit, right? Because, listen, when you know there's a man out there that, regardless of how you feel about him as a boyfriend, a person, or even a human being, but you know you can identify he's a good father, I think, how do you allow yourself to forget that? Because
What do
there's
you
so many.
mean?
Listen, there's so many fathers out here that don't do shit.
facts.
You should be able to recognize when you have. Listen, hold on. Let me tell you something. If you go through 29 days of rain, you telling me you're not going to appreciate on the 30th day when the sun comes out?
What I told?
Sure.
No one said I didn't appreciate you or that person didn't appreciate you as a father. But even as a parent, sometimes you got to put yourself first for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying like your kids shouldn't be a number one priority. Yes, but sometimes I come home, I need time for me. Sometimes it's just a little bit. So maybe she just needed a little bit of time for her. Like, you are a great dad. She never took that away from you. She never said you weren't that. But like, you just gotta. You give people too much credit. You give
For the
people too
women
much
that feel
credit.
that way, if you need time for you, then let the nigga see his kids.
Are you gonna
Then
take? Are you
then
gonna
you can
take
have
them?
time for you.
Are you
right?
gonna take them?
For the women,
Are you gonna take
yes,
them?
for the women that are keeping their children away from their fathers, right? If you really want time for you, let the nigga get the kids. Duh.
Nah.
You can't complain about you don't get time for you when you're not letting the man see his kids. That's crazy.
Are you taking them? Are you coming to my house and sitting down on my couch and I'm watching you with my kids? That's no. If you coming to my house and sitting down watching, I'm watching you, watch me, watch the kids, watch me, watch you, then no. You're not coming over. But if you taking them,
Okay.
if you taking them,
But if he's saying he's gonna take them,
take them.
then because I'm sure there
Take
are
them.
women that will sit there and complain, oh, I need me time, but meanwhile he's just like, well, let me take him to the park.
But
Like,
that's different.
you know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
gonna go a step
different.
further for you both. I think, and again, it comes down to the communication. And we've kind of tied in communication with toxicity, because I know plenty of women who don't have the me time, but don't ask for it either. And I think as men, we should
Volunteer.
take and be like, "Yo, babe, go out with the girls," or "Yo, I got the kids this week," like something. And it doesn't happen. I see it with my male friends. But again, closed mouths don't get fed.
Right.
So
And also, if you see that she's good, like, it's so many times that I'll be strong and deep down inside I want to cry and yell and scream, and I just sit there and people are like, "Oh, you're so strong, you got this, Keisha."
and
But
these
in
are
my
also
mind,
toxic traits.
in my mind, I'm like, "No, but I
Well,
don't."
communication is definitely a major part of toxicity, right? And the way I always think about it is like, if you consider communication like food, right? When it comes down to cooking food, even the most simplest thing like macaroni and cheese, there's 1,000,001 recipes for macaroni and cheese. All of them are not going to be good. So how you apply that to communication, if you try one recipe, and your recipe being your words, right? If you try one set of words that don't work, maybe you need to sit back, reflect, and think about a new approach and come through with a different recipe, a different set of words, and maybe this time that mac and cheese will be slapping. But you gotta, you can't, if you don't have any patience and you just try once and then you just ready to throw in the towel, like maybe that's why words are powerful, right? Words are powerful. We have these beautiful things called synonyms. There's usually a different way of saying something, right?
Absolutely.
You know, like I could say,
Wait a minute.
Get him.
10 minutes
Get
ago,
'em.
you was like, I'm gonna say what I want to say. And you
Get 'em.
sensitive, then you just can't. I just can't talk to you. It's coming from a good
Rant.
place. Now you telling me if you say one thing and the person not receptive, it's like macaroni and cheese. Then go back and do it and come back again. Like, which one is it, bro?
which one is it?
Which one is it, bro?
So
Which one is it, bro?
I'm gonna tell you, right?
Tell me.
So
I'll pay attention. Go ahead.
since you want to come for me,
I'm not coming for you.
no, it's
your
fine.
words.
It's fine. It's my
your,
words.
Right.
So what I'm gonna tell you is, in relation to me and you specifically.
Oh, that's what it was.
Right. Me and you specifically. One of your toxic Leo traits, right,
What?
is that you will talk like a gangster. But then,
Wait.
Don't
You're not
please,
answer the
please do not. I'm answering you. Please, you're interrupting me.
No,
You're
because
interrupt. If you gonna let me,
You sidestepping on the answer. You going to hope to me. Well, how does it got to do with what I just asked you?
Well, if you would have let me finish,
Go
you'd find
ahead.
out.
Let's hear him out.
Right? You will talk to me like you a gangster, like you a thug, and then the second I come back at you with that same type of energy, you be like, "No, Rod, you can't talk to me like that. I'm a woman." Tell me you ain't never do that to me.
What did I do with me saying what I said?
Meaning, if you could talk to me like a gangster, you need to be able to receive it like a gangster. Don't think I'm supposed to make it sweet for you when you talk to me however you want to talk to me.
You talking about me?
Yes.
I don't talk to you any way I want to talk to you.
Anymore?
Period.
That's.
I match your energy.
You match my energy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
If you come at me and you talk to me like I'm one of the homies, I'm gonna talk to you like I'm one of the homies.
But then when I talk to you back, you don't like
Because
it.
you're a man. It's a thin
say-
line between talking to me like one of the homies and being disrespectful. And you teeter on that a lot. You a teetering ass motherfucker when it comes to disrespect.
I'm a teetering ass
When it comes
motherfucker.
to
You see how she cursing?
when it comes to disrespect, like you a teeter ass motherfucker.
Did I curse when I was? Did
I'm
I curse
not
at her?
you. We're not the same.
See, they're all talking like a gangster.
I'm not talking like a gangster.
But now she wants, because she's a woman. You see that?
I'm not talking
that's
like
the
a-
that's the bullshit
No,
I'm talking.
I'm
That's
not
the
talking like a
bullshit I'm
gangster.
talking about.
I'm not talking like a gangster, but sometimes with your words, the way you talk, you teeter on a homie and then being disrespectful to females. Like you teeter on that sometimes, Rob. Like let's be real. Let's be real.
I
And
didn't
that's
curse
why-
that one time, but you just said I'm a teetering
I'm
ass
telling you-
motherfucker.
I'm telling you why.
Thank you for proving my
I'm
point.
telling
You
you,
talk
no,
like a gangster,
I'm
but
not
then you
talking
want to
like a
remind me that
gangster.
you're a woman.
No, because sometimes you cross the line. I could take it, but sometimes you cross the
can't take
line.
it.
Yes,
You
I
can't
can.
take
Okay, but anyway.
All right. So
Thank you,
at
boo.
this point, we have come to
We
our
haven't had an
final
argument
vote.
on camera in a long time. It's been a while.
Teetering ass motherfucker.
You
That
are.
was really good. That was really good.
Teetering ass motherfucker.
are.
Man, I was hoping to kind of get into the Roe versus Wade and the
What
other
about
different things.
toxicity when it comes to friendships?
Yo, I did not know.
Parents could be very toxic.
Man,
Parents could be very toxic.
Brooklyn Dre, you might have to come back for this one
Parents
for
could be
part
very
2.
toxic.
Yeah,
Trust me.
'cause
We might have to do a part 2 on top.
'Cause
There's so
this
many
one-
ways.
You're right.
Parents? Oh boy.
Listen,
Family?
There's people you
Ooh.
can. Family could be
Ooh.
toxic. People you work
Boy,
with could be
but-
toxic.
Workplace could be toxic. Workplace can definitely be toxic.
I definitely had a toxic
Yes.
work environment. I used
Yes.
to be at one point. I felt like at least once a week, I felt like I was going to get into it with my foreman.
Right. Toxicity at work. Like
But just like our lives, you have to navigate through those things,
it's
right?
hard. It's hard when every part of your life is toxic. How about that? How about work, relationship, home, family? Everywhere you go, you're hitting toxicity. Like that's reflection. What kind of energy do you have that everywhere you go, you have toxicity? Like I don't know.
Sometimes, listen, I don't think it's that has anything to do with you. You can only control you. You can't control other people.
So this is the final thoughts. How do you maneuver in this world right now through the toxicity? So that's our final thoughts, and we'll decide if we're gonna come back with a part 2 and everything.
How do
But
you maneuver?
how do you maneuver? Because we all know that daily life is full of problems, and it's a never-ending cycle. And some of those problems can be toxic, whether it be through family, friends, work,
Relationship.
relationships, right? even in church.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
So, final thoughts on that.
I'm starting. Okay. How do you navigate that? I think you navigate through that.
Or how have you? Because you're living it.
I've navigated through that by, and it's a challenge, but trying to remain as proactive as possible and not reactive. Because I know that when I'm reactive, my natural reaction, because of me being who I am and being a alpha male and a Scorpio and just my life experience, if I'm reacting to you, it's probably going to be aggressive. If I am proactive and I take the time to stop and get my thoughts together, it's probably going to be a more positive outcome. But if I just instantly react, it's probably going to be negative. So that's how I navigated it, by trying to be as proactive as possible.
Okay.
I love it. For me, I separate myself from it. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's work. I don't care if it's family, relationships, friends. If I feel any kind of trigger from anyone, I separate myself. And then I come back. And then if I feel like the person is going to trigger me again, I'll separate myself again. And it'd be times when I don't speak to someone for months. It'd be times I don't speak to somebody I'll look for another job. Like, I don't tolerate it in my life anymore. I tolerate it so much in my life that it's like, there's no place for it. You're not welcome here, like, at all. So anybody that kind of like has any negativity, triggers anything, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta go. And people are like, oh Keisha, yeah, but you don't know my story. Like, I've had enough. Why can't I be why can't I live like Ross said, you make your life. I have my own narrative, right? So why can't I live a life of non-toxicity? Why can't I? Why? Who said I can't? I'm going to. That's what I'm doing.
Hello?
And if it takes for me not to speak to a family member or a friend, then that's just what it's going to be. Because at the end of the day, it's my life. So I choose to separate whenever I feel anything toxic happening, whenever I feel any triggers going on. I just separate. And after a while, the person they kind of get it. And when they talk to me, they talk better. They come better next time.
Okay.
So
I don't know if I agree with that, but that is your way. Mm-hmm. But we got to talk privately about that. I don't know if I agree with that.
You don't have to. Okay.
So for me, I could say I've kind of done something like that, but I don't necessarily remove myself or they remove them from me. I might shut myself from them for a second. Here's a prime example. So I think I do more meditation than anything. I'll take it, and then I try to put it aside and let it go. Right, like whatever.
Release it.
Right. So the example that I'm going to use is when George Floyd was murdered. Right. I could not do what I usually do, take it and let it go. Right. I cried. Like the emotion, everything that built up from that, it was too strong, and I couldn't do like I usually do. So I had to, I let it out because it was too much on my soul, on my back, on my spirit, on my physical being. It was just like, I had enough, right? So, but that's how I let that toxicity go. And it was still there because obviously we all know what happened and everything that preceded that, but it generally that's how I'll deal with it. I'll come, eat it, because you can't ignore it, right? It's there, it's in your face, it's gonna come, right? So it's like, how do I maneuver these waters with this toxicity? And usually I take it and then I move forward.
Is it wrong to put up a shield around yourself to let anything in? Like, I'm good at putting my wall up. Like, my wall game is crazy. So, like, I'm just like, shoot.
That's what he said.
Superman. Shut up.
So the reason why I said I don't know if I think that is, it may be effective for you, but I just probably wouldn't recommend that, because anything in life that you don't properly address will repeat itself. So you just avoiding the person and putting that doesn't mean it's gonna go away. It will come back in some way, shape, or form. Anything in your life that you don't properly address will come back. Let me finish. Right? Will come back in your life. And I feel like when you do people like that, just cut them off because you feel like they're toxic, you can make someone that you really care about or really cares about you feel like they're disposable. And it's not good for anyone to feel disposable to you. So I just think that if you have an issue, right, sometimes avoid of it. Sometimes you could just have an uncomfortable conversation. Address it. And if it continues and then you feel like the next step after that is you shut them off, but to just start out like, I don't want no toxicness around me, so I'm pushing everything away.
So let's be clear. Conversation has been made. Let's be clear. It has been. Okay. I've sat down. I've said, turn TV off. I want to talk to you. Let's listen. Okay. But also, there's also levels to it too, because it's like if I just met you 2 months ago and I see you guys have the traits, it's not that serious for me to cut you off because you just came into my life yesterday. Like you're not that important to me, so I'm gonna just block my number. I'm like, oh, he calling, or whatever. I call back, and that's that. But for you to even be that toxic to me, where I have to sit down with you, that means I'm trying to savage something with you. I'm trying to keep whatever we have at a place where we could still be. I can still love you because I love you at this point, you know. But if I feel like I'm coming to you and I'm like, yo, this is how I feel, this is how you made me feel when you did that, when you do this, that triggers me, and you're like, but I wasn't, I'm like, it's not about you, just listen to what I'm telling you, stop getting defensive, you know what I mean? And sometimes I might have the conversation in 2001, and it takes you to 2002 for you to get it, you know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, like, oh, that's what she was talking about last year, you know, because everyone moves differently, you know what I mean? So, yes, I talk to them. Yes, I sit down and have those uncomfortable conversations. But at the end of the day, people selfish. People going to do what they want to do. People are grown. They don't have to change because of me. They don't have to move different because of me. Who am I? You know what I mean? Like, yo, you over exaggerating. Oh, you just emotional. Oh, you just being petty. They're always trying to find a way to deflect people's feelings to make themselves feel better at what they did to you.
I think that's probably one of the most unconscious toxic trait, being dismissive of other people's feelings.
Talk about it.
But it's unconsciously toxic because you don't know that it's having a toxic effect on that person, but you just, maybe because you don't agree with what they're saying, you are invalidating their feelings in that moment, and that is, it feels toxic to them. Because
people are very prideful, and people don't necessarily be looked at as a victim. They don't want to look like the bad guy. I'm sorry, they don't look like the bad guy. So if I say, Rob, when you touched my finger, you made my finger hurt, you're like, it's not being super sensitive because nobody wants to be the bad guy.
I'm comfortable with being the bad guy. Somebody has to be the bad guy.
So, we hope you enjoyed the final thoughts. This was an interesting
I had a good time.
Topic. Thank you guys for being honest with your truth, right, and your stories, because you know. Yeah, but you guys definitely have a little bit more experience in that room than I have as far as the relationships that you guys have cultivated and tried to build, and I haven't. You're gonna get there though. I will. I'm not looking for
without
the toxic
toxicity,
part.
but without the toxicity.
Yeah, healthy one.
Because you see what could be, so you know what not to do.
Not to do. I've been lucky enough to be in the lives of wonderful people and have seen their experiences, and I am not someone who is not going to take even though it's not my experience, take what I see and integrate it and learn from that and what I experience.
We're at different chapters in our life.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
The things that I might have gone through when I was younger, I didn't openly discuss them with my friends. Now we definitely have real in-depth. We have more than just surface level conversations. We have real conversations. So listen, you always got your brothers to chop it up with, so you good.
Yeah.
You can chop it up with me too.
Yeah.
You one of the brothers.
So, as always, we're so happy that you guys joined us for this episode. Had a lot of fun doing it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is probably one of the first ones that we were sober.
Why are you telling the business in the household?
I'm telling all the business. I'm all open right now. I'm here. Ratchet Thoughts. This is all day platform, Brooklyn. As always, we love y'all. Stay healthy, stay safe.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And
stay away from toxicity as much as you can. Pray.
And pray.
Yes.
Have a great day
and a better tomorrow.
Peace.